Hello, Riplets. It's me, Tom from Target Prime Rib. I am so happy to see that a lot of people have already come onto the chat. I see that Sandy was on. I see Kitchen Witch, and I also see Bacon Baby um, has actually joined in the chat already. So, thank you guys for coming in. Um, I wasn't really sure what to talk about today. Not that I ever really know what to talk about, but I was, I was thinking that we could talk a little bit about, the fact that I have decided to at least try to abstain from coffee and from dairy. Um, in case you're wondering why I'm doing that, coffee. I sort of like, I have a lot of coffee every day. I have like about 4 to 5 cups. And I think it's mostly just so I could go downstairs and it gives me an excuse to go into the chocolate shop. Even though I don't get any chocolates or anything like that, it just gives me a reason to go in there. Um, and I just wanted to see if I could kind of control that addiction, that need to go and I that need to have to go in there to feel like I feel guilty if I don't give them some kind of business. And, I just think that it was a little problematic. So it's just for the month, or for the rest of the month. We're already into June 6th, and I may stop actually right when I go to the Boston trip. I don't think I would need to have coffee or dairy at the Boston trip, but just in case, not to subject myself against it. And same thing with the dairy. And there's also some medical issues that come up that I just want to see. Last night, I actually had to call out from work because I was starting to get like a lot of pain, like a lot of immense pain in my back and leg. And I just didn't think that, I figured it was better that I rest and stuff. So that was what happened to me yesterday. Everything is good. And I'd like to hear from you guys. I put in the chat the link if anybody wants to come on. I know usually you guys don't usually come on, but if anybody else joins in and wants to, come on stage, you're more than welcome, as always. Okay, so let the let the questions commence. I'm going to actually go into the chats and I'll go, we'll just read over the chats and, you know, um, actually, I'm pretty happy that the thumbnail came up for you, Tanya. Um, if you're at work now, um, sorry that, it was a little bit later. Uh, it's a trial and error thing. So, hopefully you'll be able to see. Today is Friday, so I won't have a live tomorrow and I won't have one on Sunday. So, hopefully Monday you'll be able to see, you'll be able to join us for the whole time. And I see that you are first, so that's pretty cool. Um, okay. Are you I'm guessing you're driving to work, so that's good. Well, it's not good that you're driving to work, but it's good that you're. Um, Hello, Lisa. How you doing? I've been carnivore. I've mentioned this a few times, so not that I'm saying anything. I'm just saying I mentioned this a few times. But I actually was on and off for a few years, like 2 or 3 years, but for at least 2 years. But I've been what I consider full carnivore, since January 1st. So it's been 5 months. So it's been a little over 5 months now. So, and what I consider full carnivore is I was always doing the no, you know, the whole meat diet and everything like that, and I would go on, go off, go on, go off. But what I consider full carnivore is I didn't really join communities. I didn't really like start doing chats or anything like that until I didn't start putting myself out there until January 1st. So that's where yeah, Bacon Baby. My job can be pretty physical. I just, I've been having some on and off issues with the job and everything like that. And the funny thing is I don't. Hello, Terry Sue. I didn't see you in I'm all the way at the bottom of the chat. So okay, now I found you. You've been bugging Aaron. Okay. I gotta put that on the screen. I mean, hopefully Aaron or whoever will come, will come and join us. Uh, so what was I saying? So yeah, it is pretty physical. It's a lot of running around. I work at a convenience store, and I work the overnights. But right now, the shift's not that hard and everything. It's just I have to kind of like watch out for my, considering what happened to it. I if I have some problems, I tend to protect it. I'm probably protecting a little too much. I agree, but at the same time, I just don't want the same thing to happen again. Especially with the left foot where the heel damage, I had to give out like 3 or 4. I had to give out actually about 5 operations, but a couple of them were of the same situation. So, look at the bomb. Yeah, I think Mitch said something too about Bacon Baby, your handle as well. Um, so that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, like I said, I just want to see if I can do it. Basically, I probably will stop, but I just want to see if I can last throughout the month of June. You know, um, see if I am built of stronger stuff, so to speak. Because like I've been doing coffee. I go downstairs, I go to the coffee shop, and I get it like 4 times, like at least 4 or 5 times a day, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I just kind of like feel, I don't know, am I doing it because I want the coffee, or am I doing it because I desire the the company, the camaraderie? And as much as I do like to be like people, like you guys and stuff like that, um, I just I just don't know if like I'm really that into the coffee, or am I just into, and if it is that I can go without coffee and go out with people. I don't know. Maybe I'm not explaining it correctly, but it's just something that I felt that I needed to do, and I also wanted to get off of the dairy too. But also too, on a more medical reason, I every time I go get coffee, which one would that be, Terry? So, can you narrow it down? That's kidding. um, I go into carnivore, and this is a carnivore community. every time I drink a cup of coffee, I'm making 1 or 2 trips to the bathroom. So, I just wanna see, is it coffee that's causing those trips, basically. And I figure if I get off the coffee for about a month, I can test that out, and if that problem subsides, then I'll know that coffee can be a contributor, and if it doesn't, then I'll know, then I know that it's not, and I can bring coffee back. And even if it is, I can still bring coffee back. I just need to kind of be like, okay, maybe 4 cups isn't good. So sometimes you need to cut something out completely, and then when you bring it back, just bring it back a little bit. Yeah, and I'm hoping that this will help. I mean, I don't think it's really bad. And I can still do morning coffee with Mitch. I just would be more like morning hot water or something like that, because I don't drink tea either. Um, and again, I love my coffee, but the thing is I do love coffee, but it's like if it's not perfect for me, it's like I don't know. Okay, well, like I said, that's what tests are. Isn't that what n equals one means? That some things will work for some people, some things won't, and that's. I mean, I know my roommate. He actually thinks that I'm not gonna last, and maybe he's right. I don't know. I mean, it's not very supportive, but. And to tell you the truth, I'm not like I don't know if coffee's really affecting my stomach. Um, it just seems like it's this seems like a coincidence. It seems like a correlation there. Um, but I no, it's not like we're drinking Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew would be a lot 10 times worse, and definitely 10 times worse. I think coffee is still um, not so bad, and that's why I'm giving it a time frame until the end of June. Probably actually right when the Boston trip, and then that way I can have coffee at the Boston trip. So like June 27th will probably be my last day of abstaining. So I'm just going to do it for a few weeks for the most part, and coffee I'll probably go back to. Dairy, I'm not sure. Um, I mean, the only thing that I would probably go back with dairy is if I don't find any problems or don't find any difference, then I might do dairy for if I do priming again, because it does help with the priming. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's the one thing I'm not looking forward to is the coffee headache. But just in case anybody's wondering, without realizing it, I I am abstaining from dairy, but not butter. I am still going to have butter. So if a lot of people say that butter is, that butter is a fat, is dairy. Well, I still am going to be having butter because it is a fat and it's what I use to increase my fats. So when I say dairy, I mean cheese, milk, sour cream, things like that. And like I said, I don't know how long I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to be without coffee, or dairy for that matter. But I'm going to just take it one day at a time. And my goal is for like the 27th of June will be my last day of abstaining. And it might go longer than that because I may not need to have this stuff when I'm on the Boston trip. I don't see why I have to really, but it's already kind of implanted in my head, and I don't know. Sometimes it's easier just to subside a little bit. You know, so just trying to. I don't know why, but I'm like reading my. So you had a gastric bypass in 2006. Okay. Yeah, hopefully meat will help you out. Definitely, and you know, and butter balls. Okay. Is that anything like butter boobs, Terry Sue? That could be why I'm not that tall either, Tanya. Okay, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, like last night. Well, I think it was two things that my leg and back were just starting to really hurt. But what actually kept me from going to work was actually I just felt like such a bad heat exhaustion. The humidity, like as I'm sleeping, like I felt like I couldn't breathe. The humidity was like so bad. Um, when I woke up and everything. So, I just basically was like, I can't do this, not today. And with my, they kind of know that I have medical issues. That some days I have good days, and I guess I still have some bad days. I guess carnivore's not totally curing that yet, but I always say it's getting better every day. As most of us, we have our good days and we have our bad days. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats you. And that's how it is with this one. So we got 10 people that are watching, and here comes one of them now. Booby Goats, how you doing, Aaron? Terry Sue Walmart. I'm not sure. Aaron needs to review them for us. Ah, okay. Well, she's Butter Woman, right? And we'll get it. We'll get her a cape and everything, and I think that would be really cool. Like, but incorporate it in one of your other videos, so then that way it looks more like a commercial, like not just like kind of like this is an interruption, like commercial. Cool. Then you're halfway there. If anybody's going to be creative, Aaron, it's you. It's definitely you. Okay, that's pretty cool. You have Better Woman as a commercial and one video. Okay, so why should the cape be yellow, Terry Sue? Oh, because it's the color of butter. Okay. Okay. I'm a little late on the intake on that one. Sorry about that. So, so I want to ask a question because I value everybody's opinion, even if it's not always right. um, do you, if I was to say, okay, I'm going to change my mind and not abstain from one of the things, do you think it's better that I abstain from dairy, or do you think it's better that I abstain for coffee? And keep in mind, I will probably go back to both eventually. This is just a test for the month. Nope. I actually just been having the Pellegrino water, and I had 2 meals already today. So I guess I'm eating to fill up. Butter balls. Okay, I hear it again. Butter balls. I guess if the ladies, whatever. All right. So kitchen. Tanya, you think dairy would be the best thing to abstain from? Okay. Um, let's see if any other votes. Okay. I see the part where it says see where it leads, but obviously you said something else, Terry. So you're thinking I should just abstain from one of them, but not both of them. Okay. All right. Um, Probably because then the other after a couple of weeks. And bacon baby, you say dairy. And what I don't know if I'd want to water down the coffee, but hmm. I mean, I don't usually change my mind that you know that readily, um, unless I really am not into it. Uh, the only thing I worry about with coffee is, like I said, every time I have a cup of coffee, I'm on the porcelain throne like 2 or 3 times right after. Um, and, it becomes kind of problematic. So I didn't know if the coffee bean was actually causing a little bit of that problem. So you're thinking a better cup of coffee would be better for me. Okay. I can't believe you haven't seen butterballs in your store either. Mm. So did anybody? I'm just changing the subject for one. I feel like strong coffee would send you to the toilet. So, okay, on that one, I'm a little confused. Is it strong coffee? Is it weak coffee? You know, um, or is it just coffee in general? Or is it not the coffee and it's something else? Could it be? I mean, if I do this, if I do what I'm thinking of right now, then I would have to have the coffee black, or I'd have to have it with butter, or just butter and bacon grease. I knew with all this conversation of butter balls that butter boobs would have come up eventually. So butter coffee is delicious. Yeah, I agree. Um, hey, now you found a use for that old melon scooper that you put into your kitchen drawer. thinking you never use it again. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that you're all women. It's all good. It's all good. How was it, Aaron? Was it like bliss having the butter in your coffee? Hmm. All right. So, you know what? I have Buy Me a Coffee, but I can never figure out how to get the link onto, put it into the live stream. So, I'll look at that at another time, and because I don't want to interrupt what we're doing right here. But okay, I'm at work. Let's get serious. All right, let's batten down the hatches. All right, or hatten down the patches. No, okay. Uh, yeah. I mean, he would probably know more than anybody. I'm sure there's a way. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure there's a way. I'm slowly going into the tab, like going back and forth really quickly. So I'm here, but I'm not here. It's how I'm able to be on like two different lives and stuff like that at the same time. I can go back and forth on tabs. Yeah, I mean, the one thing I don't know if I can do is adding it to the top, like pinning it. It'd probably be like one of those things I'd have to like kind of like, like my, join here. Yeah. Um, I will. I haven't yet, Lisa, but I will be. The end of the month. I'm actually going with Lewis to Boston. Well, that's good. I'm guessing Butter Bowls is actually a product and not just a euphemism. Okay, so Okay. So I think I figured it out. All right. If this works, no one's obligated. I'm not. I'm just seeing if this works or not. But I think I might figure out how to put the buy me a coffee link into the chats. So. So I think I might. I think you guys have convinced me, um, but I think I might stick with the coffee still. Um, but I definitely want to abstain from the dairy. I don't know yet. I haven't fully decided, but I might go back to the coffee a little bit sooner then. Yeah, it is weird. It's very weird here. So, but again, you're not. I'm not. I just wanted to test that out. So, thank you, Bacon. Thank you, Bacon Baby. That's really cool of you. I just got notice that you bought me a coffee because I get notified from the Buy Me a Coffee app. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Tanya, I appreciate. Thank you. I appreciate you buying me a coffee as well, Tanya. Thank you very much. Wow. Hmm. You know, now I know how Mitch feels. Hello, Ampy. How you doing? You're in listening mode. Well, that's good. That's good. I guess it's better to have to listen to a video than to have to watch a radio show. Aaron said something about buy me a coffee. My buy me a coffee link never works, probably because I use subscriber mode. Um, I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not because I use subscriber mode. So, um, so I don't know. Unless I'm not, unless I thought I was, and it's yeah, I don't know. Mm. I mean, I have a lot of theories about different things, but they're just theories, thought processes. Like the stupid crown system. I kind of think, like I think only people that have a certain height of subscribers is gets those crowns, and that's why I haven't gotten it. I don't. Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you've gotten the crown either. And uh, yes, it did work. Thank three coffee. Thank you, Terry Sue. I appreciate that. Oh, I had to kind of like refresh it in order to see that once you told me on here, then I refreshed it, and that told me right there. Oh my god, you all of you, this is it's so kind of you guys. I appreciate it. Cool beans. That's pretty cool. So did you do that from your computer, Terry Sue, or just from your phone? Because you said before about your computer not being able to, you know, to do. Yeah, I didn't think you did, Aaron. So I'm thinking that it's based on, like like once we reach a certain amount of people, then that crown option probably becomes automatic. I don't know how many people it is, but I have a feeling like once you reach a certain amount of subscribers, then that option clicks on. And in a way, I find myself lucky in that particular department because I find the crown thing to be a little problematic, but but also comical. Yes, very very subtle. You got helped me out quite a bit, so I appreciate it. I really do. Well, if you need the butterballs, then I guess you do have to get dressed to get them. So yeah. The link I put in earlier, I would have to recopy that. All right, that is the link. If you'd like to come and join me for a little bit and just be able to introduce yourself and say hello, and just do a little chewing of the fat. Balls, 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 balls. There. You're probably drunk now. Balls. Okay, I'm not really sure how I'm saying it funny, but sorry. Or is it because I'm the only guy here, so it sounds funny coming from a guy? You guys are funny. You ladies are funny. Thank you. I love you guys too. It's funny. My roommate probably thinks I'm talking to myself right now. So that's Sandy. She starts everything. I don't know, Sandy. You laugh so hard you scared your cat. So here, has anybody ever seen those videos where you put a cucumber on the ground and the cat like freaks out? Like, is that real? Like, do cats really freak when you have a cucumber with them? Thank you, Terry Sue. I appreciate that. It's good to smile and laugh. There's too much crap in the world to go on to not to not like smile every once in a while. I know, like the cat jumps like 5,000 feet up in the air. It's like, okay, so it's probably fake then. I would think, because you imagine if that actually did work. If Rick did that to Milton, see how Milton jump up really high in the video on one of his lives. But they just like think it's okay. Would you ever see the changing the subject just a pinch? Did you ever see the one the video with the guinea pigs when they're like going between the two rugs, like there's like a little bit of floor in between, and they jump over the floor like as if it's lava. They're jumping from one side to the other. Just never put baby in the corner. Okay, Sandy. We won't put you in the corner. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in the corner. I don't know. Maybe I have. I don't know. I'd have to go back in time and find out. I don't remember. Oh, excuse me. I'm really tired. I know you guys are going to say it's because I haven't had any coffee to wake me up. I get it. Here, I'll show some things onto the. Bacon Baby is saying, haha, booby goats, that's amazing. Cats are fun. And I never am ashamed to. Sandy is saying, thanks, Thomas. And Booby Goats is saying, must be the lack of your watered down coffee. No, I'm not supposed to work tonight, Terry Sue, so we will get some rest. I'm hoping I'm working tomorrow, with different things happening, everything like that. It's been sort of topsy turvy with work and everything. And that might have been why I didn't really go to work yesterday either. All this drama that's going on with it, I just kind of needed to take a break from it. I mean, the problem is I really this is the humor in it. I don't really need. I don't really need the money. It's like just for savings, basically. It's not like I'm paying the bills with it or anything. I mean, I have enough money even for savings, just not as much. And I just can't help but like, okay, is this drama of this time differential and everything like that really worth it? They're still kind of confused with the time. Like it's funny, like when they said about me coming on Friday, Friday morning, like to me, if I come in on a Friday at 4 a.m. and then leave at 8 a.m., that's Friday, right? Well, he's like, well, when I come in on Saturday, I'll see you on Saturday. Well, I'm not working Saturday, so why would you see me on Saturday? So it's just a lot of confusion, a lot of like back and forth. So I don't know. I don't know. Probably, I think that's what's in my head. Like normally, I would just be like, okay, it is what it is, and I just do. But here, it's like sort of like, well, I really don't. I'm not really needing the money, so like, why am I going through all this drama? Because it really worth it. Yeah, you have to it has to be at least $50, and then you can start dropping it into your account. But I think you can preset it to go into the account like when it's ready, so it just automatically does it. And they take a portion of it, obviously. I forget how much percentage, but they take. So even if you like were to buy like 10 cups of coffee, um, which would equal $50, we wouldn't get the full $50. That I did not know that they only drop it on Fridays. So yeah, um, I've learned that too. That they he that we get like more of a percentage from the coffee, believe it or not, than we do from like a membership or anything like that. In fact, I think Lewis actually does an automatic coffee plan where he pays Mitch every month. That way, he contributes to Mitch, and he gives. I think. Don't quote me on that. But, I mean, there are tricks you can do. Like if you want to support somebody, that might be a better way of supporting them than to you know if you're willing to do $5 a month and do it on the same day and everything like that, it might be worth it. I just every once in a while, if I have the extra $5 or so, I just do it. You know. Okay, so give Terry Sue some spotlight here. Well, I need to go water my sunflowers and see if the squirrels smash them. Gotta go before it gets way hot. See you guys on the rebound somewhere. We'll see you, Terry Sue. And I'm glad you came. Glad you came. I'm actually happy you're all here. I'm actually going to put, me, I'm going to keep on putting it in. If anybody wants to come on and show their pretty face, uh, they can do so. Yeah. I'm noticing that I am the only guy here, so don't overwhelm me. I'm just joking. Overwhelm. Okay. I've never measured before, but okay, Sandy. That's cool. So we have 12 people in the chat so far. Let me make this bigger. Let me see. Yeah, we have 12 people in the chat so far. Um, that'd be cool if you get a mask at the Dollar Tree, you know? But, I mean, how do you think you should do the mask? Like, do you think it should be, like, shaped like a stick of butter? Like, just, you know? Hmm. You're gonna have, like, Rocky be your, like, little sidekick? You know, Butter Woman and Butter Baby or something like that? Or do all your children call them the Butter Bites? Yeah, Rocky is adorable. Sorry, Aaron, but it's true. Actually, all your children are very cute. So she doesn't want to be a sidekick. Okay. Okay, so I think I will, but I think what I might do is restrict on the coffee I drink. I think I'm gonna change my mind and have coffee daily, but instead of 4 or 5 cups a day, I think I'm going to restrict myself to just to 1 cup. I think that would be good, just to cut it down. What do you guys think? Anybody think that's a good idea? Keep in mind, it's still my decision. I'm just saying that to get opinions. Oh, Terry, see that was quick. Okay. All right. So when I'm done with this, I will go downstairs and I will get a cup of coffee. All right. But I am abstaining from the dairy. So, and that's actually going to be pretty hard for me to abstain from the dairy. So, in a way, this might not be so bad for me because, before I was abstaining from two different things. Now, dairies, like especially cheese, my mom used to call me part rat because of how much my grandmother too, because of how much I love cheese. The only cheese I didn't like was Limburger because it has like a bad smell to it. At least I thought it had a bad smell to it. Yeah. My grandfather used to like, and I didn't like either one of them. My grandfather used to like to make Limburger cheese and liverwurst sandwiches. I used to hate liverwurst. I still do. I make the joke that it's the worst liver that you could ever have. Now you're getting in on the butter balls, Lisa. I see. You got me to say it. Of course, I'm not trying not to say it, so it's not that hard. Hey, you know what? If Bella can say boobs, butter boobs, I can say butter balls. No, Sandy, we can't. We can't say that. It's not allowed. Well, I don't. I'm gonna put that in the thing. So, oh, that was Lisa's. The chats are going so quickly. I couldn't like get the. I love morning coffee with Aaron. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to. So you got away with morning coffee with Booby. Okay. And Terry Sue, thank you for saying I should get a crown for saying balls. Okay. How weirded out would Mitch be if we were saying all this? Is I figured you did subscriber mode only to make sure you didn't get any trollers. I mean, I actually, that's why I think I'm in subscriber mode because when I first did a few of my lives, I was getting weird people on there. I mean, I know we're all a little weird, but these people were like, like I had one guy, one time, I asked him where he's from, and I don't want to say what he said, but he pretty much like gave me the 4 letter word and like cursed at me, and he's like like that I'm a freaking idiot because I didn't know where he was from, and it was just like I have no idea who you are or where you're from, and this, it was just weird, just very strange. So I thought I went, you know, that's why I thought I did it where it's up subscribers only, but I don't think mine advertises it like yours does, Aaron. Yours actually says in the thing. Bill and Rick. So Sunday is going to be Rick on with Mitch. So that's going to be kind of cool. Well, not kind of cool. That's going to be pretty cool and everything. So, did anybody check out my video downsizing of me trying all those shirts and getting rid of them? Coming end of the year. Mitch is on 8:30 in the morning. It's going to be on his channel, which I know you know how to get there because I saw you there earlier today. So, um, yeah, 8:30. I was on there last Sunday. It's now Rick's turn, and then I think the following week is going to be Lori. And I don't know who else is following, but I think that's what it is so far. Well, Rick has his own thing on Saturday, but Rick is going to be as a guest on Mitch's channel on Sunday. You, you had to roll the dice on that one, Terry. So I don't think any of us is going to really know. I mean, the real question is how long will Rick last before he shows an antique phone? The Rick Museum, which I love. I really do. I think it's so cool when he pulls up some kind of gadget that Oh, is that the video that was mentioned? I saw the thing, but I didn't actually see which video it was. Um, yeah, it makes sense. I don't. I never did. Um, I don't see myself in a speedo, even if I do lose that much weight. Uh, but see you, Aaron. It's nice having you here. Okay. Well, um, I think I'm going to actually, end the chat soon. I'm going to put just one more time. I'm going to put in the chats. I'm going to put the link to come on. If you want to come on for a few seconds or a few minutes and just say hello, I will give you a couple, but I think I am going to be wrapping it up soon. If no one comes on, especially. Thank you all for the Buy Me a Coffees. I appreciate it. I really do. It shows that, I have people that care. And, I'm super grateful. Oh, okay. That's so. Well,
Oh.
I'm super grateful. You're, how you doing?
I'm good.
Is this your first time on, or? How you doing? Yeah. If you're hearing background noise, you might want to
Yes.
mute the YouTube.
So I have it on my TV and also my phone. So
Okay, so you're on your phone right now with me?
yes.
Okay, well, you're coming in great. Nice to meet you.
Now, I'm sorry I'm all wiggly, but
Well, you're probably holding your phone, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
I have
figured
my
I'd come
videos look when
on
I'm doing my
because you
walking
said you
videos.
were getting ready to leave and I would only have to talk for a few minutes. So I
Oh,
thought,
okay.
what the heck?
Yeah. It's always good to have people on here. And so, you've been carnivore for a pretty long time, or?
Since March 24th of 23.
So a little over a year then. So that's
It's been over 2 years.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm still in the 24.
Yeah. Sometimes when you go to, write down the year,
Yeah,
don't
it's
do it
like
very
you
often.
you always write down, yeah.
Yeah. I
So that's
just wanted
cool.
to
Well, I'm
say
glad you're
that I
here.
really enjoy you in all the lives that I go in. You're always so funny, and that's why I asked you how long you've been carnivore, because you just are helpful, and
Oh, thank you.
I just wanted to say that I appreciate you being brave to even put your own channel out there. All the people I watch, that they're just brave, and it's
Thank you.
I
I appreciate
enjoy
that.
watching.
I appreciate that. And,
Yeah.
so, I mean, you try, and, it's just, and sometimes you have to come from like a faulty background in order to come out of your shell, and that's, I think, what happened with me, and like I'm just as grateful for the things that happened that were bad than the things that are happening right now that are great, because without them, then I wouldn't be where I'm at now, and
Yeah, I watched your walk I think it was this morning, and
well, I
you
didn't
were
walk this
talking
morning, but
about
it probably came out
the
this morning.
confusion, the confusion on your work schedule, and that's just that's sad that you
Yeah,
had to even go through that.
yeah, and I'm still kind of going through it. Like, they still haven't solved the problem, so that's why I was like last night I was supposed to work. I was supposed to work this morning 4 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Wow.
And, I was like, it was around like 11 o'clock at night. I wake up, and first off, it was really humid, so it was like I felt like I was going to pass out. So I was just like, I'm just going to tell them I can't come into work because this is. But I think my mind was also too a little bit onto that concept of this time thing being, that them totally being mixed up all the time, and it's just, like I feel like giving them all clocks, being like, learn how to read a clock.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked third shift for many years, and that's a hard shift to work.
It is a hard shift, but all the shifts I've worked, they still knew that 4 in the morning on a Friday was 4 in the morning on a Friday. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
it was like this like big confusing task. So it's like, I don't know. I think that, I mean, normally I would just be like, the hell with it. I need the money, and this is better than nothing. But I mean, the concept is I have two other streams of income that help me with my bills. So this is actually just like extra, like to help me with like if I want to like do a project or something like that, or just save for a car. So these are things I do want, but they're not things I absolutely need right now. And
Yeah.
so it's like, do I really need the headache? Or can I wait another month and find a job that would be more suitable for my, you know, that maybe a home job or something like that that I can have do on my computer, like something that that can work with me and will allow me to actually work. My interest is more the YouTube channel and stuff like that. So and just healing and just getting better. Because I still have a lot of healing to do. I'm not done
Oh
yet.
yeah. I feel you on the healing part. That's why I started jumping in some of these lives, is because I just been struggling with depression and anxiety. And like I
Mhm.
said, I had the gastric bypass, and I seen Dr. Barry say at one point about gastric bypass, if we allowed to our doctors to mutilate our bodies. And I feel like, I don't absorb the nutrients like you would. And I just wonder if that's why
Mhm.
I tend to struggle with this still. And then just the other day, well, in March I was gardening and my thumb started to hurt. So I finally just went to the doctor on Monday about it, and they say I have arthritis. And I'm thinking, how in the heck do I have arthritis in my thumb and it pain when I've lived pain free for 2 years now?
Okay. So I'm seeing in the chats a couple people asking who are you? I guess you've really been here for that long. So
Oh, I'm
you
just
know if
Lisa.
if you don't mind telling a little bit about yourself. I mean, you just told a few things about yourself, but just a little bit more. And also too, if you want, I already did one the other day with Amy Hospital. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I did an interview with her for like about an hour and a half.
Yeah, she
And
had gastric bypass too, didn't
yeah,
she?
she did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I seen
I,
her in one
I
of
think I
the.
think Amy has like if there is an issue, she's probably had it. Like she's like one of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, I actually went to her and subscribed to her and figured I would. I think, did Lynn, the midlife,
Yep. She
she
works with
had
her.
gastric bypass too?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'm trying to reach out to.
A lot of people that are connected to what you had, basically.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get I get that.
because
I get
it.
that. I try to follow everybody that seems to like speak a chord with me, but whether they're diabetic or not. But I do tend to go towards the diabetics as well. Like so I think we do kind of like look for that one person that or the few people that are connected to what brought us here in the first place. So
Yeah.
I could see that. I could
Well,
see.
my husband was actually the one that got me interested in carnivore, because at one point we were doing intermittent fasting. I mean, we were still doing intermittent fasting, and then one day he was like, I think next month I'm gonna start carnivore. And I was like, well, what's that? And so he
Like
started
carnal
telling
what?
me about it. And we had just went to Costco and like got tons of groceries. And when I got home from work, he was like, I'm just gonna start carnivore. And I was like, it's going to be a few days for me because we just bought all them avocados and I wanted to eat my avocados.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, it's like I don't want to waste my money.
yeah. Well, I mean, I have 3 kids, so therefore it's not like I couldn't just help them out and give them
Yeah.
the food that I bought, but I wanted the
Yeah, I mean,
avocado.
I think I was sort of lucky because I was when I decided to go full carnivore. I decided to join the chats and stuff like that. I was on and off anyway.
Yeah.
And even before that, I made the decision never to bring anything into the house. My rule was if I have anything, it's going to be like at a restaurant or like away from home. But
Yeah.
nothing was allowed to be brought into the house. So then when I decided to go full carnivore, I didn't have to worry about that. I wasted my money because it was never there. if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I think that that helped me out quite a bit, to kind of go with that. Now, unfortunately, I don't live alone, and I can't attest for the people in the house, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I
but
know. It's hard. I've had friends that wanted to start, but they still have young kids at home, so they have a lot of the foods, and I don't find I carnivore has taken that food addiction away. I'll hear people ask, "What's the most important thing?" or "What's your why?" And I was so addicted to food. I would think of food. I would like people would my husband would go to bed, my children would go to bed, and then I'm downstairs devouring cereal, bowl after
yep,
bowl,
yeah,
just
that was me at one
eating.
time.
And
Yeah,
like
I agree.
who was I kidding? Because at the end of the day, the last time I got on the scale at my top weight was like 241. And I know I probably went higher than that, but when you're sneak eating, hiding, it
It's a problem.
shows, it shows, and it shows in the mirror,
Yeah.
and it shows to everyone else. So I was only lying to myself, and to be free of that's what
So,
carnivore
so,
did. It
and if you
freed
don't mind
me
me
of that.
asking, Lisa, your top weight was 241. Is that what you just said?
Well, I probably ended up higher. That's the last time that I weighed myself. And so I was 241 the last time that I was willing to get on the scale. And I went for gastric bypass, and I know I got down to, on the day of surgery, I was 226. So
I mean, how tall are you?
I'm
If it-
5'3".
5'3". So you're okay. The only reason I'm a little shocked by that is because I would think that, for gastric bypass, that you would have to be even heavier than that. So that just doesn't seem to be very. I mean, I'm not saying it's not heavy, don't get me wrong,
Oh, yeah, it
but
was
I
heavy.
just didn't think that there was gastric bypass heavy.
Well,
If you
it went by
like, I would have thought that you had to be over 300 pounds in order to really be
they go by
eligible.
your BMI, and the
Oh,
BMI was there. I
okay.
so I can't remember what it was, but it said I was morbidly obese. But if you go by them scales, heck, I'm probably overweight right now on their thing.
Yeah, because I mean, I actually applied to do back gastric bypass.
Yeah,
I didn't do it. I decided not to do it. But I
good
think I
decision.
was actually 279 at that time.
Yeah, it. I
I
would
was a big
say
boy.
I if I could go back in time, I wish I would have known about carnivore before I
Oh,
did this.
I think carnivore would have helped you out so much more
Oh,
than
it would have.
I
It would
really
have.
do. I mean,
And
there probably would have to be some commitment, some adjustments
yeah,
for you, but I think that adjustment would be a lot better than the adjustment you had to go through.
yeah. It's a shame. I get so mad about the whole industry and what they've done to make foods more addictive. I mean, my daughter she worked at Walmart. She'd bring like goldfish and Oreos home, and even after gastric bypass, I would sit down and eat every one of the Oreos. I mean, the row, but I couldn't eat them all at once because I would get sick from the sugar.
Right,
But I would finish them off within a day or two. And I
right.
told her, I said, could you please stop
Yeah.
bringing this stuff
Yeah,
home?
because you know what it is? This gastric bypass might help with your getting full, yes,
Yeah.
but it's not going to necessarily keep you from having your desires.
Oh, you can gain all your weight back on gastric bypass.
Yeah,
The
and
only
it's even
reason
more
I mean,
dangerous to do
I
that.
gained probably 30 pounds, but
Yeah,
the only reason I didn't gain more is because I told myself, you risked your life to lose this weight. You cannot go back to where you were. So I've constantly that's what kept me, I guess you could say, honest, with my dieting was you risked your life.
yeah,
Do not go back to where you were. And then carnivore saved me. It just saved me. because to be so addicted to food, that's all I thought about. Food,
Yeah.
food, food. What am I going to get next? What I mean, I have so many pictures of me stuffing donuts in my mouth, and people would buy me little, like a donut bag or a donut. And I don't want to be known as the donut lady, but I
Right.
was addicted. And it's just a sad that's just a sad part of the life, knowing
Yeah.
the
And and
addiction
and,
was so
and
strong.
people don't realize they're making things worse for you.
Oh
And
yeah.
you know, um, like
I wish
I used to hate
everyone would try it
I used
because
to hate the saying that you deserve this.
yeah,
Like when you didn't want to have a cake, they'd be like, "Oh, here's a slice of cake. You deserve this." Well,
no,
I appreciate the gesture,
well,
but but
yeah, what they
I'd
want you to
rather
be
think that I deserve
miserable,
good
Thomas,
health.
is that what they you deserve to be miserable, Thomas. Eat that
Right.
cake.
But no, I'm saying I appreciate the meaning behind what they're saying because I'm sure they're
Yes.
not meaning it in the way that it's coming out to us.
Yes.
But at the same time, I really appreciate that you would think more like, okay, you deserve to have good health. You deserve
Yes.
um, not to have your sugars to be so high. You deserve, to have, to be happy with how things are going for you,
Yes.
and don't look at like, oh, well, you deserve some dough and a piece of chocolate,
Yeah.
like that's just substance. That's not what's going to make me happy. Being with family is what makes me happy. It has nothing to do with, you
Yes.
know, like I'm happy if I can eat the foods that I think are best for me. That's what makes me happy. Like offer me a steak. Don't offer me a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your favorite's T-bone, right?
I
Or
like all steaks. I
okay.
really don't have.
I thought I seen in one of the chats that you'd mentioned T-bone or
Yeah, no, I like. Well, my handle is Target Prime Rib.
oh well duh.
But then in this, so I mean, I,
Prime
I
rib is
favor prime
delicious.
rib. Two reasons why I did Target prime rib. And I don't know if anybody else here knows this story or not, but when I was in high school, I actually had a writing assignment, and it was just a few sentences. I had to use words and make sentences out of them and stuff like that. Well, they ended up becoming those sentences grew and they became paragraphs, and then it actually became a story. It became a science fiction novel and like a comic book, and it was
Yeah.
called Target Prime. And I didn't finish it because at that time I had people in my life that were very discouraging, so I never finished it in high school. Eventually, I probably will finish it.
Yes, you
Just right now, it's
should.
not my focus right now, but it's
Yeah.
in there. Just it's like one of those like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. After I, like at this point, which is probably why I want to get a better computer and everything like that because there's just so much in my head that I just need a pen and
Need to
paper's
get
not
out
enough,
there.
and then when I was at my brother-in-law's mother's house for Christmas, she made prime rib for
Ooh.
Christmas, and since I started January 1st, it just kind of clicked like, okay, my book is Target Prime. I had prime rib and I enjoyed it. So why not Target Prime Rib?
Yes.
And that's what brought the name on. Even though people get it wrong, I've had a few people like call me like Target Ribeye. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do you get this wrong? But they
At
do.
first, when I seen it, I thought it meant you got your prime rib at Target. Everybody has what they think.
It's like,
Well, at
okay.
least now I know the story. I know it's not prime rib from Target.
No. I mean, I'll probably get prime rib from Target.
Yeah.
That's not out of my will. I mean, I actually shop mostly at Walmart. I actually, I don't really have a car or anything like that, so I actually get most of my stuff delivered. And then,
Yeah.
like, I get a lot of prepackaged foods because Walmart they have a pretty good delivery system, but they charge a lot when it comes to weighted items.
Oh.
So, And I don't know if your daughter is aware, like knows about this or not, but they will actually, like if I buy a steak for $10, that same steak by itself, if I get delivered, would be about $23
Oh,
delivered.
wow.
So it's a pretty big markup. And yeah, do they give me back the money? Yes, but the thing is if I get enough to take the whole check,
Yeah.
and they do the upcharge, now I'm losing money, and it's like it's
Yeah.
gonna, so it's gonna cause all these problems. So it's just a lot easier for me to just get foods that are already pre-done, like 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 I get the box of burgers,
Uh,
which are all beef. There's nothing in them,
yeah.
and I get them. They're like it's 27 by 73 um, fat content, and I get that, and I actually add some butter to it to give it a little bit more fat, and it's really good, and it's like a box of 32, and I get like 4 or 5 boxes because I shop monthly. And then what I do after that is I'll take a couple bags, like a backpack and a couple bags, and take an Uber to the closest supermarket, and then I'll buy some steaks, and like once, like twice a week, maybe I'll have a steak,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
We've been on a picanha kick lately. My
yeah. I
Costco
haven't seen
started
picanha
selling
yet.
them.
I am looking so forward to having picanha at the meetup that I'm going to. That is like, like
It's very
I practically
tasty.
don't care. What was that?
I said it's very tasty.
Yeah, well, just looking at it, that fat cap is like, oh my god, you know.
Yeah. Well, the
It looks like
Costco that I
candy
go,
on top of the steak. It's just
yeah.
talk
The
about
Costco
bliss.
that I go to, it always had the fat cap trimmed on the sirloins. And just recently they started selling the picanha. So I was very excited because I was always getting the sirloins because I preferred the taste of the sirloins. But then I had to add so much butter, to make up for the lack of fat. But
Right.
now, I don't really have to eat the butter with the picanha, but it still tastes good, to add a little butter with it.
Yeah. I mean, well, butter's butter. I mean,
Butter,
where I
just
got that from is Peter, Papa Carnivore.
yes.
I got he was mentioning a few times, like with every bite of he put the
Mhm.
nice fresh cold butter, and just the way he was selling it was like,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
His
and then I did on my burgers too, like I'm like, oh, if
yes.
it works with steak, why can't I do it with my burger? 90% of my meals is the burgers. You
Yes.
know, I mean, it's to go through 3, 4, or 5 boxes of 32 burgers each. That's a lot of burgers. You know, and
Oh
then with the
yeah.
steak in between. So I eat like I guess you could say I'm mostly a lion diet, but I do eat eggs. I do have
Yeah, so do I.
I do have the bacon. I just had today actually, and
Do
you
you
know
do well with bacon?
Um, I don't eat an overabundance of it. I make the joke that I have the suitcase bacon, but I don't really eat an overabundance of it.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't think I have eaten enough to have a problem, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I think if I upped it a lot more, then I might have. I mean, the one thing I do have a tendency, like the dairy, I just kind of find to be like I just want to see how that might correct me.
Yeah.
By
What kind of problems are you having with that you think you need to cut the dairy out?
um sometimes I get like I don't know, like just it's really hard to say. I probably don't need to cut it out. I
Oh,
think
we
it's
were
more
talking
problem.
balls
I think it's
earlier.
more problematic. Like I just don't. I have a hard time like just controlling my portions
Mm,
with it.
yeah. Well,
So
they say that the dairy, it makes you hungrier. So I try to stay away from it because it actually makes my body start to hurt. The If I do the cream or the cheese, even bacon, chicken, if I eat it too many days in a row, my lower back, I've had two neck surgeries, so my neck will start to hurt.
Right. Okay.
It just so
Yeah. No, I mean, I haven't really
beef.
seen any actual problems
Yeah,
with having the dairy, except for like I could like get a block of cheese and like within the day, just like you said about the Oreos, I could like be finished with
yeah.
that block of
Oh
cheese.
yeah.
So there's some people that might be a little taken back by me not having dairy. Like I go to this pizza place and I get roast beef and cheese,
Mm,
at there. It's like sort of like how I give them business.
yeah.
And if I go to them and say I just want roast beef, they might be a little confused, but
Yeah.
they'll be okay
Just
with
tell
it.
them
But
you're trying something.
well, I'll just tell them that hey, I gained a little extra pounds in my back end, and I just want to I just want to take the cheese. So, I
Yeah.
don't know, like some weird excuse.
You just
But
got to do what works for you.
yeah,
If you want to
and
stay
hey,
coffee, stay coffee.
as long as they actually get this, I don't think they much care
Yeah,
what
of
I do.
course.
Because
Give
it's
me
'cause
that
it's not
money.
like I have had people like kind of pester me. Like I had this one a diner that used to be here. I would ask like no, I'd say no fries, no buns, and stuff like that. And I never said to him that I want to pay less because you're not giving me this stuff. I just was like this. I just don't give it to me. And but he'd still be like, well, why don't you want this stuff? Why don't you? And I'd be like, well, you're still getting paid.
Yeah,
Like, what do you care that I don't
yeah.
have don't have my buns with the burger, or don't have, like it's one less stuff you have to worry about.
Yeah.
But
Just give me my meat, man.
yeah. So I see we just got somebody in here. Hey Corey, how you doing? So I have to read the chats too.
Oh, I thought there was another person. I can only, on doing this on the phone, I can only see you and I.
it
So
the phone
I
can be
looked over
working
at my TV to see if somebody else was actually on.
like on it. Well,
Yeah.
you'd be I guess you'd be able to see if somebody else came on, and at least like if they talked, you'd be able to
Oh,
at least
okay.
hear them.
Yeah,
Um,
this is my first ever. I mean, I just was like,
yeah,
oh,
the phone
he
is
keeps putting
difficult.
that link in there. Maybe I'll just get on there and say hello because
Hey,
you've
and
always been so
I'm glad. Yeah.
nice.
So, matter of fact, Sandy was asking before if you actually had a channel.
Well, I mean, so I could be in the or chat or whatever.
Well,
So
no,
I
like
did
you have
that,
like
but
do
that
you
I don't have anything. I don't have no video, nothing, but I just wanted to be part of the community. I mean, I eat I eat carnivore, so I thought, you know what? Get in there and ask these people for some advice because this depression, it gets so heavy and it's like, I did what Papa said about
up
uh,
in the back?
the D3 and the K2. And then the coach Lisa was in there and said to do um, the magnesium. And then she said red light therapy, but I still haven't bought that yet because she was going to send me something on a link of which one to buy. And,
Oh, okay. Well,
you
that's good.
know,
Coach Lisa would definitely know that. Yeah.
yeah.
I have to
So,
admit, I don't do the D3 or the K2,
no.
and probably because I'm a cheapskate, and I don't
I
have
understand. I
I don't have the
still,
red light therapy. I mean, I do have some supplements. I have to kind of like get more, but I do the iodine,
yeah,
which
I
was
do too.
recommended by Elizabeth Bright.
Yeah.
So, like
How much do you
it
do?
kind of holds a little bit more value when the actual person that's really into it actually recommends it. So when you get Elizabeth Bright
Yeah.
saying to you that you maybe it would be a good idea to do it, then that's like, oh, well, if you say it, then. Not that I don't listen to anybody else. She definitely would be somebody in that particular field that you listen to.
Yeah.
So,
How much do you take of it?
I just like 5 drops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm like running out, so now it's more like 2 drops because I wanted to kind of stretch.
Stretch it
Um,
out. Yeah, I
yeah.
started with two. Then I seen a video with her that was recommending like 10, so I did a whole dropper full of it. And then my husband was like, maybe you ought to go back down. So I cut it back to 5 drops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and then I have 2 things. Um, this oregano oil
Oh, yeah.
that I do a drop in. I haven't used in a while, but and then this elderberry that you just put under your tongue.
Oh, okay.
And they came. Those 2 bottles were actually from. I don't know if you ever heard of her or not. I know Rick has definitely, but Laura Russell. Um,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I actually just
from
subscribed to her too.
Yeah. So she's the one. It's actually from her. She's the one who recommended it to me.
Oh, okay.
So I went to her. I went to, like, at first, like when she was recommending, I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta find where they have it at Walmart, where they have it, and get it delivered, blah blah blah. And I'm like, excuse me. And I thought to myself, wait, she has her own channel and she sells the stuff. So I might as well get it from her and get that little bit of support. So
Yeah.
I try to give the other channels support as much as I can. Like
That's so nice of you.
I know. Have you ever seen Carrie Mann?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, they have this big tub of beef tallow.
Yeah, I seen Emma using out cooking
Right.
something with it.
Well, Emma sells it on her channel.
Oh. Oh yeah, she makes the skin
Well,
cream.
not just for that. She sells it on Amazon. Like you could buy the bucket, like
Oh,
how she's
okay.
cooking.
Yeah, yeah.
You can buy the bucket. So I haven't gotten it yet. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't really used beef tallow yet. I In the past I've used either bacon grease, butter, and a friend of mine, Lewis, which you may know,
Yeah.
I I used the ghee,
Oh, okay.
but I haven't actually used beef tallow yet. I just like it's such a small thing. So if I can get a big tub of it and then give some credit to somebody else that's in the
Yeah.
community, that would be pretty good. Like I already bought a few things from Mitch. I bought this on Mitch's channel,
Oh, yeah. I have that one. Yes, and I have the plain one too.
and then I bought and I couldn't. I ended up not being able to use it, but I still have it. So in the future, once I can use it, then I have it. But I have that that selfie stick he uses for his walking videos.
Oh, yeah. You
That
had yours, didn't you, the other day in one of your videos?
It's a different selfie stick.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I couldn't use his is I didn't know this, but it's for a special camera.
Oh,
It doesn't work with the phone.
okay.
So I needed to get a selfie stick that works with the phone because that's how I do my videos. I do it off the phone.
Yeah.
But with this selfie stick, it would be a special camera that would be just for videos. It wouldn't be you wouldn't be making calls on it and stuff like that. It'd be 2 separate things. So once I do that, then I'll have this invisible selfie stick that would actually up my game a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
just keep doing what you're doing because I just enjoy watching the carnivores. I don't watch TV. I just watch the
Yeah.
real, like I said in your chat. I don't know if you've seen it, but the carnivores are the stars to me now because why not watch what I'm interested in, and I'm interested in people's lives being changed through a way that I happen to be eating as well. So
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Like the other day I realized that I've been missing certain things. Like I've always been into like comic books and stuff like that,
yeah.
and not really comic books themselves, but just like the movies and stuff.
Hmm.
And I actually realized that I totally missed the new Captain America movie. I was like, oh, because I got so into this
Yeah.
that I just haven't had time to. Because I'm actually a part of I'm a part of like 3 different groups, 4 if you count Mitch, and
Wow.
and I've gotten so much gratitude and so much
Yeah.
benefit from carnivore, other than just my health.
Yeah, carnivore has just changed my life. For me to even have clicked to come on here with you shows what carnivore has done, because I am a chicken.
Yeah.
I just, the confidence, I don't have confidence, life,
Well, you're
but
doing great. You're doing great, by the way.
thank you.
You're doing great, by the way.
But I just believe that the meat and the butter will eventually heal all of this. I'm 54 years old, and I have eaten crap for, 53 of them years.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not when I was a baby.
Well, I'm, I guess at that time it would depend on what your mother and father were feeding.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure
yeah,
they weren't doing the best. My father's Cuban, so I'm sure I was being fed a bunch of rice and beans
yeah, a
and
lot of spicy food, stuff like that.
yeah, a bunch of pork, but at least that was the meat. But yeah, this way of eating can just change. And I three of my kids, none of them will do it, and they all have taken after me when it comes to overeating. And I want them to be free of it, but I guess they don't think it's sustainable. And but here they've seen their mother struggle all of her life. When After I had gastric bypass, my boy was, I think he was 6 at the time, and when I called home, he was like, "Mommy, are you skinny yet?" And I'm thinking, "Buddy,
They
it
just
don't
didn't
work that
realize,
way."
yeah.
But they've seen me struggle all my life, and now, I mean, I might struggle mentally, but I don't struggle with the food anymore. And I feel like a terrible person, because I still, you want cheesecake? Okay, I'll make it. The cookies, I'll make it. But it's getting to where I tell my husband, I don't think I should be making this stuff anymore for them, because if I only have the meat here for them, they'll just have to eat what I have when
Right.
they come. I don't know.
No, I mean you make a good point.
Yeah, it's,
I mean it's hard.
yeah,
I'm not a father, but it is hard. It's like, okay, like I'm not trying to subject them against it, but like this is how I express it for myself. I know that this works for me.
yeah,
I know, to give a little bit of history for me, I had the diabetes and everything like that. I had a bad back infection that caused me not to be able to walk and stuff like that. I was in a wheelchair for quite a while, and I had my five toes amputated on my right foot.
yes,
That being said, it was a high A1C that kind of caused all that. Kind of caused the problems. It was like a triggering effect. The back problem was an infection that I think was caused by the open wound of the toes being
yeah,
taken off. So I think everything really stems from the A1C, from the diabetes, from the insulin.
yeah.
So when my A1C goes down and my sugars are getting better, that's a triumph for me. More than a lot of people would probably be. But I always say that right now carnivore is working for me, and this is
Yes.
right now. And the thing is going to the past and dwelling on the past is not helping it. It's not
No.
helping us.
No.
And looking into what could be for the future is not really helping either. I mean, you can kind of be like, "Oh, this is great," and like you kind of like dream a little bit,
Yeah.
but in order to be grounded, you need to be in the right now. And right now, I'm carnivore,
Yeah.
and I am doing whatever I can. Now, I'll change things within that, like like abstaining from coffee,
Yeah.
or the dairy or whatever. I mean,
Hmm.
technically, coffee is not really carnivore, but depending on how you look at it, but technically, coffee does not come from an animal, and it is a plant. But but I'm not that stringent, so I do have my coffee
Yeah.
occasionally.
I still drink coffee. I did quit the first 3 months of carnivore. So,
Okay.
and
So, I mean, the only reason I want to get rid of coffee is because I go to like, I don't know if you know this or not, but I live right above a chocolate shop.
yeah, I seen that you said that. That's
Yeah.
so, mm, I bet the
And
smells are
and how I give them
wonderful.
business is I drink coffee. So
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why I get the coffee is because I feel bad that I'm not really buying anything else from them, and they have been nice to me, so I reciprocate by buying the coffee.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, it's like, okay, like, is the guilt healthy? You know,
Yeah.
is the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know, so I think that's why I was going off of coffee. It was like, okay, do I really need to get coffee? Can I still say hello to them without having to really feel like I need to purchase this all the time?
Well,
You
if
know?
you're only buying it because I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
worth the
it's a topsy
coffee?
turvy thought process, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think I do agree that that maybe stopping two different things might be a little hard. So
Yeah.
I think I'd rather get rid of the dairy than get rid of the coffee. So I think I'm just going to subject myself to like just one or two times a day,
Yeah.
and then just limit it to that for the coffee.
Yeah. That
You know? And then just drink it black or put butter in it.
yeah,
You
I use my immersion blender and it just froths it up real good. My frother, I had been through like 3 of them, so I thought, "Heck with it. I'm just going to use this thing."
know? Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
it makes it look like
the
there's
only reason why I
cream
do
in
black
there.
for them is because this is the process. I get the coffee, I go downstairs, I get the coffee, and I sit on the bench and take in the sunlight in the morning, for the
Yes.
most part. So I never go upstairs, and they're not going to put butter in my coffee. It's just not that kind of,
Yeah,
you know.
tell
So
them I want a bulletproof coffee.
yeah, they'd be
I
looking
bet
at me
they
like,
would
"What?
make it.
What?" Of course, we do realize they probably have butter because they
Yeah.
are a bakery.
Yeah.
But, at least I would hope they have butter. I mean, that would tell me a lot if they didn't have
Yeah,
butter.
if they didn't, they're
Yeah. Um, but that's kind of why I get the coffee is to kind of give them the business. So, um, but I also know too they wouldn't care if I went in there or not. Like it wouldn't bother them. They would still see me on the bench. I'd just like be drinking my water and they'd come out and talk to me or whatever. But
hey, I mean, all you can do is try it.
yeah. So I think I'm just going to do it twice, not go four times, just like figure out the times I want to go. They're
Yeah.
closed on Monday, so I wouldn't be able to go there Mondays anyway.
Oh,
Um,
that's a
but
good day to start.
yeah, but
Yeah. That's
yeah,
always when diets start, isn't it? Always going to start on Monday.
yeah. And dairy's actually going to be harder for me, believe it or not, because I'm part rat, you know. Um, which weirdly enough, I found out later on things that rats really like is peanut butter. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, because isn't that what they put on the traps
That's
anyways?
what I
Peanut
used to put on
butter?
my traps, yeah. I used to
Yeah.
put peanut butter on it, and, yeah, I think that became more problematic for them, so, um, yeah, I definitely would do that, but I also liked peanut butter at one time too, but I got rid of it because peanut butter is a plant. Cheese I kept because it's an animal, or at
Yeah.
least from an animal, so, it was I think it was easier to just keep the cheese, or the dairy, but I think dairy. I don't know what problems it's causing. If it is causing me any problems, I don't know what they are, but I have a feeling that once I get off of dairy for a while, and then I think I'll find out. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, you'll notice some kind of change, but if
Yeah,
you don't notice anything right now, I mean,
like
because
yeah,
when I eat it, I will be in pain, and then I'm like, is it really worth having joint pain just to have this cream in my coffee? So I had to give it up. But the butter don't do that. I guess they say because the casing is not in it or
yeah.
something.
No, butter. I'm not getting rid of butter.
Yeah,
That's that's
there's no way
that's
I'm
not
getting
an
rid of
option.
butter.
That's not an option. I'm
No.
sorry. I like my burger and butter and my steak and butter. But uh, sorry. Sometimes I lose track in my head, even in the middle of the conversation. Um, yeah, boy, I am getting older.
Hey, it's okay.
I
My
know people have been
psychiatrist.
telling me I look young for my age, but
How old are you?
I'm 52.
52. We're almost twins. 54.
Yes,
You're 52.
we
Yes.
are. We are. And I mean, I know there's a lot of, it'd be, I value, I mean, I don't like worship them, but I do value the young ones because it's such a rare. I mean, I think there's more of us older,
Yes.
like 40 and above,
Yeah.
than there is of anybody younger than that. There are a few people
Yes.
that are younger. Don't get me wrong, but I think
Yeah.
it's just a little bit more of a, you know, you
Well,
know,
it's because I think it's because we've tried so many things to lose weight, and to see a young one that hasn't went through, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Jenny Craig, all the things, Atkins, and
yeah,
they're doing carnivore. I'm just like seeing Emma from, Emma Mann. I'm just so happy. I seen her. She fell off, but each time she did, she knew right away
yeah,
that she needed to go back to carnivore. And I'm just like, man, I hope that can reach the young kids so they don't have to go through all the struggles and all the pain and all the diseases that the food is going to cause them. That we can just get this message out there.
yeah,
And that's why I'm so happy to see so many
yeah.
more channels, talking about carnivore coming
Yeah,
out now.
that's yeah. Emma
All
Man's one of them.
Yeah.
She's one of the
Yeah.
people that that's younger. And yeah, she was influenced by, obviously she had.
Oh well,
I
yeah.
mean, Carrie said he has nothing to do with it, but I mean, come on, it's her
Yes.
father.
Yeah.
He had to influence her, not maybe intentionally, but she did look up to him
Oh well,
enough
yeah.
to for it to make a difference. Like I'm not saying like he like forced her down and said you become
You
carnivore,
must.
you do this like or else. Like I'm sure he didn't do that. I can't see him doing that.
No.
But I wouldn't doubt if Emma was asked, that she'd be like, yeah, well, I looked up to my father and he was doing really great and I loved how he was doing and it influenced me. It inspired me to do what I'm doing now,
Yes.
and and you have Caleb, from Caleb's Carnivore Quest.
Oh yeah. I just seen
He's
him.
16.
Is
You know,
that how old he is?
yeah, 16. I mean, he might be close
Wow.
to 17 now, but he's 16. He's 16.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
and there's another guy, that is, his name is the Carnivore Guy, and he's 16 as well. His name is
Oh.
Anthony, but he's not on YouTube. He's on Instagram,
Oh, okay.
and he kind of reminds me of a young, Ralph Macchio, from
Oh,
Karate
yeah.
Kid. You
Yep.
know, and then you have the other girl, Sophie, um, that was a bulimic, and
Oh, yeah.
you
I think
know,
I remember seeing her at the
yeah.
one of Carrie's big things at the beginning.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
she's 18 now, but she was 16 when she started a couple years.
Yeah.
So you got all these, and you got all these other kids. There was one that he interviewed just recently, a girl 9 years old,
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
that goes with these media
Influenced by
profiles.
Dwight, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So and the thing is like, yeah, I mean, the older people you can kind of understand. I mean, because I think when we get older, we go to two different mindsets. We're either going to go, oh, the doctor knows what they're doing. And even when you get weaker and weaker and weaker, it's like, well, I have to listen. The doctor knows, the doctor knows, the doctor knows. Or you go through the mindset, the doctor knows crap,
Yeah.
you know? And I think that most of us that go into carnivore sort of have the second thought process, not
Yeah.
maybe not 100% of it,
Yeah.
but there's a little bit of that, like, okay, what is the doctor right? Like, what's going on here? That question goes into our heads a little
Oh,
bit.
yes,
And it
definitely.
allows us to be like, okay, we got to go off the mainstream
Yeah.
and at least try this. And then
Yeah.
after you get healed, then things start going. Because I know people that are still in the first one. I have a lot of people
That
that,
only trust the doctors.
yeah, that
Yeah.
is so much into trusting the doctors and so much trusting on what their mom said when they were kids. And and all this stuff. And the thing is like, okay, it's great that you trust your mom or trust your dad or whatever, but parents aren't always right. And and we should, like as adults, we should know that, that our parents are just humans
Oh
themselves.
yeah.
They make the mistakes just as much as we do as
I
children.
I think we learn that as we age.
We are supposed to learn that,
Yeah.
but there are some people that don't learn that.
Yeah.
There's some people that just have that mindset that's like, well, this is what my mom did. This is how my mom was, and or my dad. I had a person I know that actually the longest time he was like, margarine. My mom said margarine's the best thing for you, and my mom, and after a while he learned that that wasn't true, but it took a lot of, because his brain was like, okay, this is what, and he's an older man too. He's not young. He's actually older than us by like 17 years, but he still had that mindset that, this is what my mom told me. This is what,
Yeah.
and, and everything.
It's
So, just want to say, hey, Lewis, how you doing? I did see you in the chats.
yeah, I can't see any of the chat.
Well, I have the list right next to me.
Oh,
And I also have my phone next to me too with the actual, you know,
you have
so I can,
all the
if I
gadgets.
if I want to get facetious, like I can't really write in the chats on this particular StreamYard, but I
Oh.
can use my phone and write it on the YouTube itself, and then. Well, actually, no, I don't know. I probably could write on it because I can send the. I was able to send the links, so
Oh yeah. Yeah, you
for you.
probably could
So I'm just gonna send the link one more time.
get more people in the.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can. I don't know how many. Actually, I don't know how many people I can get on this particular stream. I know the StreamYard, I can only do up to 6,
Oh.
but I don't know how many I can actually do on this EVMUX. I'm just going to spell it out because I have no idea how to pronounce it. So yeah, and
I
Lewis is
figured
saying it didn't work, so I guess he figured that I was putting it out there for him, but that's fine. He's. Have you ever seen Lewis?
was he just interviewed on Kilt
Um,
probably a couple weeks ago, I
no,
think.
he was, but I think it was more than a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick was
Time
interviewed by
flies.
Kiltz about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
Charger Mopar.
Rick.
Well,
Iguana
just to say,
Nation.
Lewis, I mean, if Rick wanted to come on or anybody else, they could have come on too. So, you're the reason why I put it on again. But
What, Rick is
I didn't
still
want
in the
Lewis's head to
chat?
get too
Tell him to
big.
come on here.
What was that?
What, is Rick still in the chat?
He might be at work too. So
Oh,
yeah.
but oh, so you're talking about Lewis coming on.
Well, I didn't really. It didn't really matter to me who came on. I just like. um, Lewis just kind of triggered the. Let me do it again because Lewis has come on before, and so has Rick. So if anybody's going to come on, it would be one of them. So.
If the phone's moving around too much, it's just because I'm plugging it
Well,
in.
I'm actually going to be closing soon
Okay.
because this actually, well, I think it's better to close this way because this particular thing only lasts for 2 hours and we're
Oh,
almost at
okay.
2 hours.
Well, it
So
was really
it just pretty
nice
much just ends
chatting.
it right there. Just ends the stream. So, I mean, I don't know if we cut you and me out. I mean, it might allow us to be in the backstage, but it would definitely cut out from the live.
Oh.
From the live stream. So, I mean, we could test out the waters if you want to.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm
Yeah,
free.
I
Well,
mean,
now that I just plugged in my phone.
okay.
Hey, I just bent down, plugged it in. I didn't run out of breath.
I mean, I would think it wouldn't be that rude to cut anybody that's on the panel out, if that makes any sense. Like, it probably just ends the stream, and so people like in the live chats would be like, What happened? Well, yes.
I forget what year that was that they said the world was going to end. And at that time, I was on Facebook, and everybody was like, "Are you still here? Are you still here?"
Oh, I know exactly what year. 1999.
Was that when it was?
Yeah, Y2K.
Well, no, this was another time
Oh,
because
okay.
this was after
Well,
like
I know for the longest time people thought, that the world was going to end because the computers were going to crash and that we
yeah,
were.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
this was different. I don't remember what it was, but I think it would have been like 2012 or 15 maybe. Maybe earlier than that. I know my youngest, which is now I think she's 23. She was with us when it happened and it was just funny, but I'm sure everybody knows that it would just have gotten cut out.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to see if there's any. I've been the one good thing about conversation is that you have somebody to talk with. Not that I'm not talking with you guys on the chats, so don't think I'm not. But it's when you actually hear the voice.
Yeah.
You
Instead of
know,
just having to read it because it goes so fast.
you'd be surprised how fast these go. They're in like clips of like two or three, and it goes like within a couple seconds. It's like totally gone because as one goes up, then it scrolls up, and then I'm missing like and I'll see like something in the chat that says like a follow up to a question that was on before, and I missed the first question. So it's like
Oh, yeah.
like I definitely know how Mitch feels. Like and he has a good system with
Yeah.
his. My
Yeah.
system isn't. Like I'm cheap, so I work. 12, 12.
No, you're frugal. It's
Oh, Rick is
okay.
telling us which one it is. 2012, the end of the world. It was, I guess, on December 12th, 2012.
Oh, see, somebody in the chat knew what I was
Rick
talking
is
about.
actually pretty. Rick is very knowledgeable.
He
You
is.
Um, he is a quack, but he is very knowledgeable.
Poor Rick.
Hey, he
Quack,
doesn't.
quack.
This is what he calls himself. So
Well, I know.
he
And
just
he also calls himself Lurch. And with Dr. Nelson, he says something about getting them two together
well,
in a
yeah, because
picture.
you ever Dr. Nelson, he does resemble Uncle Fester.
Yes, my husband walked by when I was watching him and he said, Uncle Fester. And I thought, and I know he hasn't watched to where he sees the comments. So he actually called him Uncle Fester.
Right.
That was
And
funny.
and I mean, a lot of people. I think because of Rick's height, they say that he would be like Lurch.
Yes.
But I kind of feel that like the way his hair is like all slicked back with the beef tallow and everything, and all dark and everything like that. You put a pinstripe suit on him and a mustache. To me, he looks more like Gomez.
You're right.
Yeah.
He put a mustache though.
Put like a little thin pencil mustache on him and a pinstripe suit.
Yes,
You know?
definitely.
So, I
Definitely. I
mean,
think what
I guess, and I don't know if this will make Rick laugh or not, or cry, but I guess like Rick is proving what Gomez and Lurch would look like if they had a baby.
exactly.
Sorry,
Little
Rick.
little iguana eating baby.
All right, so we're ending in like 9 seconds. So I'm going to say really quickly, this is Target Prime Rib. Over and out.
Thanks, Target. Thomas.
So, all right.